All right, all right, all right. So I'll try to be more personable now because I've seen some things. Maybe this is getting out positively, so we're making some headway. So this morning you go out and try to beat the crowd, the actual regular crowd, and you still, it's much better. But there's always diehards waiting. So we got a couple people this morning that AT&T doesn't open till 10, and so we went across the street to Target, and this lady that was on foot at AT&T when we showed up beat us to Target somehow, which is like 200-300 yards away, but she's clearly doing what I'm referencing. And there's a couple other ladies that tried to join in, and I'll put those videos up. All women, like 4 women initially. Bat. Try to run into you, very clearly follow you to 2 different stores. And then the one that got me, so what these guys like to do is, a lot of these people are in trouble. They are in trouble with the law. And so if you're on some kind of list or investigation, you're free game. And that's why the people that did what they did put my name and others out there. I'm not the only one they did this to. Everyone else they did this to doesn't have a strategery background, not necessarily military, but chess, football, baseball, whatever, chess X. So you get this one idiot, and this always happens, the copycat, my car is the same color as your car, like this idiot out here that's that got my weapon confiscated, one of them, and stupid stuff like that'll happen. So this guy this morning shows up after me, and they kind of use predictive techniques to see what you're going to wear that day, and then they see what you're wearing. So this idiot showed up almost identical to me, but his shorts were different, and then he just stands by you and stares at you, and you go, he's the 4th person to bother you. And so you really want to try and just be like, hey man, every uniformed officer out here is watching me to see if I'm crazy as shit or if you're really doing what you're doing and I'm crazy as shit. Because you're not going to be normal when people do this to you for years, whether you make it or not. You're not this. And if you already have cognitive challenges, right? So I've been saying something for over 20 years about cognitive challenges with me, and I made it through 10 years of the service before they were pushing me out. They do that to people. They pushed me out, they stripped my rank, and they tried to give me nothing, and a bunch of people that you would think that you would call a hero if you saw them in uniform, they just pencil whip this, fake report that, this date doesn't match this event, blah, blah, blah. So you have to fight for everything. So these people come up and copycat you and stand by you, and then they start telling you, oh, you need to lay off the crack, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That person's probably an ex-crackhead or a current crackhead in trouble with the local cops or the government maybe. And they're going to follow you around and try to lay their dirt on you, which is what I've been saying. Well, the problem with that is everybody that knows me, I never shut up about once I finally filed to try and get my retirement from the military, from the government. So everybody around me knows. So anybody that's my family would know, and anybody that's an enemy or a friend of the family would know. So every single person they've sent to me, initially, that's a felony charge. You're intentionally sending people out to provoke a disabled person for the last 5 years, like I was saying. So that was this morning. Get up at 7, get going before most people that don't have a schedule would, to try and beat those assholes. Okay. So that's what these people do. And then he goes and cries to the gentleman that's working at Target. That's kind of like they clean, but one of them's 6.5 feet tall, 300 pounds, and the other one's my height and like 200 pounds solid, like a UFC fighter. Like, they're doing it right. But that crackhead that's trying to screw your day up and start a problem is going to go cry. And this guy, he's got I'm 41 years old. This guy, he's either a really beat up 40 something or he's 50 something if he's a day. So he's trailing you around, whoever you are, you're disabled or whatever your case is. He's going to try and put his dirt on you and then go tell someone that's as big and as strong as you and him combined that you're the problem. But I've been there for 10 minutes already, and the guy's in there cleaning the walkway. And oh, by the way, it's surrounded by security cameras, and a group of two women in a red car, one woman in a white car, both either wait for me to get out, and then all of a sudden they want to get out. And I've got my service dog with me. And then the other one, I go to park to get away from everybody, and she just gets that close to us, and I made sure to exaggerate it so she can park right next to us. And then we park somewhere else, and someone else did the exact same thing. Like, they're not supposed to be here, or they're in trouble with the law, with the local law, with the state police, or with the government. So it's gone way down, but I had some woman on foot, and I had to cuss her out the whole time. I go, ma'am, you're on foot. These people, and I'll put it up. It's almost exclusively women, and then that dirtball dressed like me, like same color hoodie, try to wear shorts like you got, try to wear sandals like you got, everything except this cool hat here. But everyone else was a woman, and they all are trying to open doors to stores that aren't open yet because you're there. Okay, so and I saw something this morning. I'm on Pacific time, but I think he's on Eastern or whatever Texas is. A couple hours ahead. Yeah, if you're telling the truth, you don't have to meet people face to face. That's true. But this situation, your life is literally at stake. There's literally a price on your head from several different groups, organizations, and the people that would stand to profit know how to play the corporate game. That's why they go to these private investigators and or they already have a narrative. You know, we think this and we think that, or they literally make stuff happen. I mean, I think I've said enough, long enough on here that you know I'm not bullshitting. There might be times, what is it called, hyperbole? You know, where it's supposed to be an exaggerative statement. But anyway, that is what's going on, 100%. And I'm not the only one it's happening to. And there's probably a lot of people that have died or been institutionalized or thrown in jail a lot because of something like this. But that's why you need to read. That's why you need to study up. People told me all the time when I was young, get smart, get smart, get smart. So what the hell are you talking about? This shit right here, that's what they were talking about. They knew this was coming because they're from another time, you know. The people that brought me up were already 50 plus years old when I was born. So you're getting, you know, half a generation and then their father before them, you know, whatever happened then. So you do need to read. You do need to get smart. The internet's just as, the internet and the old print presses are the same. Anybody can print whatever they want on a print press, and anybody can put whatever they want on the internet. Doesn't make it a fact. It's the same thing. It's no different. It's a digital book, a digital newspaper. And same with the camera too. So I'm not out here to make money. I'm not out here to get famous. But trying to shed light on what's really happening to me and other people like me, where they're literally just trying to kill you using plausible deniability and any pre-existing issues you had with your life. And that's too fucking easy to do. You know, I don't drink alcohol. Anybody that was in the service with me, whoa. Okay, and anybody that's in the service, that's just kind of, sometimes that's kind of how it goes. But that's when they get you. That's when you get something put in your drink, something put in your food. You know, I've been to a bar with two people I thought were friends. A straight up white boy with affiliations, and then someone who's European and Hispanic of some sort, but they're on the same team and I ain't on their team, and I got sick that night. because I made the mistake of leaving my food with them, you know? And that's happened out of country. That's happened in country. That's happened out of country. So that's an international. You can sit here and talk shit to me all you want. Okay. I was raised by ex-gang members around the casinos. Who runs the casinos in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s? That's who raised me. Okay. So you can talk all the shit you want. If you haven't been raised by those type of people, if you haven't worked with and for those type of people, if you haven't been one of those people, or if you haven't arrested one of those people, you need to shut the fuck up. You ain't one of us, and I ain't one of them. Plain and simple. So yeah, but main point, that is what's happening, and it's happening more because of the political environment now. And you don't need to meet up if you're telling the truth. That is true. That is true. But help solidify. You can be like, look, I can show you in person, you know, and I've tried to get several people to do that with me over time. Just be like, watch this shit. Watch this shit. Licensed VA social workers. One of them who used to be in the Army as a grunt, and the other one was she was a social worker and a psychologist at Terre Haute in Indiana, and she had to train with the CRT team just in case shit popped off. She knows how to react. She's in SWAT gear. Those people escorted me around Reno, Nevada for 4 to 6 months, once or twice a week, just so I could go grocery shopping. That's not me. That's them. Those people out there that are trying to fucking come up on you and bury facts that you found out that you're not supposed to find out because you weren't supposed to make it this far. Pretty much. That's the gist of it. The social services is a dirty game. You do not want to throw your child in there. Okay? How was I growing up in a social services environment off and on until I was about 13? But still kind of connected to them. Several different, not just one family, like several different families. And you don't want that. You don't want your kid going into that. That is, life's a gamble as it is. Now you're irresponsible, or maybe, you know, what happened, you just financially can't afford a child. And I'm against abortion because it's a whole cycle. The people that are in these different religions, they love Planned Parenthood because that is part of their religion, is to sacrifice. I don't fucking think that way. I understand it, but I don't think that way. I don't believe that way. And you're not going to fucking kill me because you think that way and you're trying to sucker everybody else into thinking that I am one of you. You can go fuck yourself. Once you realize how right you are and all the people coming down on you that might be twice your size, go fuck yourself. I'll fight every single one of you till the day I die because I'm right and you're fucking lying and you're full of shit and you need to go to fucking federal pound you in the ass prison, or you need to be kicked out of your town or your city or your county or your state or your country. Not me, not us, not Americans, not service members. We're out here getting kicked in the street. This is not a financial thing. I had a sheriff's deputy come over here and he's staring at all these recycled bottles in here. He's like, that's not water, huh? And I go, well, every time we get an apartment, the same thing you guys are responding to right now, some jackass just lining up with us 500 yards away on the interstate in 100-degree weather. Oh, my dog had to go to the bathroom, but I live right there. Get the fuck out of my face with your bullshit. You know where else that's happened? 47 other states in this country. With witnesses. Go fuck your mothers. Anyway, this will probably get us taken off of YouTube, but like certain people like to say, piss off.